Here we have an exponential decay application. So we have 80 milligrams of a radioactive substance that decays exponentially, and in 24 hours that's down to 60 milligrams, and our job is to figure out how much will be left after 48 hours. Our most basic exponential function can be written as f of x equals a times b to the x. Right? There is another formula for exponential growth and decay that involves the e, the Euler number, but that's more complicated to use in this particular problem. So I'm going to go with a simple approach. Okay, f of x is equal to 80. That's the amount of my substance when x is equal to 0. In other words, times 0. Plugging x equals 0 into our function and then solving b to the 0 is 1, we will get a equals 80. Once again, I'm going to take that and put this into my function and come up with this version. F of x is equal to 80 times b raised to the x. Now we use the next piece of information, which says that at 24 hours, we have 60 milligrams. So that's telling me the amount here, f of x, is 60 when the x is 24. So I have the function, or the equation rather, 60 equals 80 times b to the 24th power. We can isolate the b by dividing, so I do, and then I have to try to figure out how am I going to get b by itself. Well, if that was b squared, I would take the square root. If it was b to the third, I would take the cube root. So in this case, I want to take the 24th root. I need to remember, or it's helpful to remember, that taking a root is equivalent to raising something to a fractional exponent, where the denominator is telling you the type of root. So I'm going to raise both sides to the 1 over 24th power. The rules of exponents say you multiply when you have a power raised to a power, so this becomes just 1 and gives me b on the right. And over here, I have to figure out what that is. I'm going to grab my calculator, and 1 second. Okay, so 0.75 raised to, now I'm going to use parentheses here so my calculator understands the whole expression that I'm going to put in is part of the exponent. So 1 over 24, 1 divided by 24, and that whole thing now is my exponent. I hit enter, and we're going to round, let's go to 4 places, 0.9881. So my b is approximately 0.9881. So let's finish this. Let me grab my pen here and go from there. All right, so this means we have f of x is equal to our 80 times the b, which is 0.9881 raised to the x power. So the next part here says 48 hours, so I want f of 48. 80.9881 raised to the 48th power, and we'll grab that calculator and put that in. So I have 80 times the 0.9881 and close that, and that's being raised to the 48th power. And there we go. So on this one, the other milligrams were given in whole numbers, so I'm going to round this to the nearest whole number and say approximately, put my pen back, approximately 45 milligrams. Let me know if you have any questions.